In this video, we're going to focus on the array filter method in Chart.js. And this is a part of the Chart.js array series. And the array filter method is a very useful method basically to filter data in an array directly that we eventually can display in our canvas or in our chart. So what are we going to do here? Basically this. Imagine you have a situation here where you want to filter only specific performance. For example, here we have this, and we want to know here, we want to only show the array values that's above the value of 4. So we could easily check this with the filter method. So let's start and explore this to make this. To do this, I'm going all at the bottom here. We have a lot of code here. It's a huge chunk of code. But in here, we're going to create a new function. And this function is going to call the filter. We can call it filter value. And in this function, we're going to trigger the following. First thing what we need to do here is basically create a constant. Why do we need to create a constant in the filter? Basically this. The filter method will filter an array. And this would mean if you would filter the original array, your array will be adjusted forever and you cannot retrieve back the data. And which is not possible because it doesn't make any sense. So what you need to do is you need to create a new array, and this array will be filtered and gets basically all the data. So let's start and do this immediately. So we're going to say here is the following. We're going to create a constant, and this is what we have to do. So create a constant, and we call this filtered data. And once we have the filtered data, we say equal the following. So this will be the name of our array. Of our, not even our array, but specifically our filtered array. So where will we get the data? Well, basically we have a constant, and I'm going to scroll up for a while and just grab the values here because this will be very, very important. Copy this, scroll it down, go back here. I'll put a comment here to comment it out because we have a constant. You cannot rename the same constant twice. This is the reason why I did this. But this is just for display purposes, so you will understand it quickly. Alright, so we have the constant, we have filtered data equals data, and then we say dot filter. So what happened here is basically we're going to create it, it will filter this data, and it will be named the new array of filtered data. But here we need to create a nameless function, and this function will instantly activate and start to trigger the filtering. Here we put in the argument or the parameter value. What is this number here or num? This could be anything. You can rename this anything you want. And then you can, basically it's this here. So it will loop through all of these values and iterate through it and show or filter the data based on condition true or false. And every time the condition is true, it will add it up. So for example here, let's make the following. We say here function, and then we say here return the following. Return number if bigger than 6, for example. And we can even change this to say condition. We just make it a condition, and we put the condition here as a parameter. So every time we click on a button or like a drop down value, you eventually can imagine that you can adjust this based on what you want. So we have this now, and now what happens in basically is this. Let's put in here semicolons. Alright, then basically what happens is here it would get here number 12, it will loop through number 12 or iterate through number 12, and then we'll check condition. If condition equals 6, we'll say is number 12 bigger than 6? Yes, store in the filtered data array. Then 19, same story, yes, and then number 3 says no. Okay, do not save in the array. Alright, so this is very important. So what I'm going to do here is for now, I'm going to remove this and just put in here the value of 6. If I do this and I put in here console log, console.log, and here we'll just say filter data, save this. Once we save this, refresh, open up the developer tab, and now you can see, okay, I realized we didn't trigger it yet, so no problem. We're going to make a button to trigger this function. So I'm going to scroll up here, somewhere halfway through, alright, here. And here I'm going to put in a button. And we'll say here button. This button basically will say here on click equals, and then we say here the function. So that was filter value, and here we could probably put in number. Let's say number, everything above 4 if I'm not mistaken. We want everything above 4. Alright, so we just put in 4 here. So this will be our argument. And this will be filtered data. So once we have this, I want to scroll down first to adjust this here. And let's say here is condition. Then we say here will be condition. And condition will be number, whatever we have in the on-click button here. So if we save this, refresh, now we have this filter data button, click on it, it will trigger, and now you can see we have 3 values matching above 5, or sorry, above 4, which in this case is the red, blue, and green. And of course we can adjust this, or we could even use another option here. We can to re-trigger it, and then we say here number 6, we say 6, and this is 4. Save that, refresh, and I will do 4. Alright, and if I do 6, there you are. Since we're always creating a new constant, which is the filtered array, so we are never overruling or overriding the original array that we had on the data. And this is very important. So with this, we can eventually add this up into the canvas, which I will show you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you enjoy this video, you probably will enjoy this one as well. And if you're interested in Chart.js, check out in the description box the link directing to my Chart.js course, where you can learn everything about Chart.js. And finally, of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel.